Good morning, traders. Good morning. How's everyone doing today? Today is December the 6th. It's Sunday, approximately 8:30 a.m. This is Manny Magoo, and I just wanted to put the watch list out there as soon as possible so everybody can have a look at what I'm looking for next week. We do have some new stocks on the watch list, but don't forget the others that I've been posting from the Sundays prior. It's important you also keep an eye on them as we do play them all the time, and we do wait for those breaks. So I'm hoping that you're reviewing them, jotting down some notes. You're going to want to grab a piece of paper and a pen. You're definitely going to want to jot down some notes. So while you do that, I'm going to dive right into this. The first stock on our watch list for this next coming week is eBay, E-B-A-Y, okay? Now, I want to show you something on eBay. It's very important. As you can see, eBay, I'm a price action trader for those of you that don't know. I basically play weekly, monthly breaks, and once I'm in the trade, what I do is I manage the trade by watching areas of support, and I also watch areas of major resistance, and I do that live in another room that we have. It is a private room. It's a subscription-based room, and if you are interested in joining us, please email me anytime or just comment below, and I will get a hold of you and fill you in on the details. So we've got eBay here. This was last week's candle, this red one here. Looks like a doji, and the high is 51.54. The low is 49.36. Let's take a look at a daily chart on eBay. As you can see, eBay in this area, this was the last, this candle right here, folks. If you take a look at it, it's the 6/4, June 4th high of 51.88. That's a very, very important candle, okay? That's a major failure back in June that we have to get over. That's the hump that we have to get over. However, if you take a look at eBay and what it's been doing, it's been consolidating here in this range for quite a number of days. The ATR, which is the average trading range at eBay, is $1.31. So it doesn't move too much, but it also moves enough where it can make you some decent money. The area that I'm looking at on eBay, if I were to take the trade, is going to be this high here, which is last week's high of 51.54. And then you have to really be careful with 51.93. Why? Number one, you've got a weekly break, and then you've got a monthly break you have to contend with. But I will tell you this, if eBay breaks this 51.93 area, first it has to break 51.54. Then we have to break 51.93. If it can break these two areas, I can promise you, eBay should run. And it will get back into this channel here that it was a couple of weeks ago. So eBay is first on our watch list. And mind you, folks, just remember, if eBay breaks this area of 51.54, remember that 51.54 now becomes support. So you could identify your area that if we break this resistance of 51.54, 51.54 then becomes support. If it pulls back inside, it's up to you if you want to get out or not. Remember, you can always take the trade again. Okay? So, be careful with that one. So we've got eBay. Next on our list, which I haven't looked at for a long, long time, believe it or not, it's XOM. XOM. I love the chart on this. I know it's been hammered for quite some time, but at the same time, it looks like it really wants to break out. I'm a technical trader, so I have to keep paying attention to the charts. And let me show you something here. So let me take you to the monthly chart. All right. So here's a monthly chart. You can see it's just been on a downward spiral. And this is the first time that in a long time that it's trying to get back above this area here. So now this right here, folks, this is November's high, which is $42.08. Okay, that's going to be a very important area that we have to break in order to get back going. Okay, so 42.08. Then if you go to the weekly, okay, that last week's high was 41.76. So if and only if I see a break of 41.76, I know that I'm gonna have to contend with 42.08. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna just jump in on the weekly because there's not enough meat and potatoes in the move. Okay, for me, I'm looking for more meat and potatoes, they call it, in the move. So I need a break of not only 41.76 and maybe holding here. I need to see a break of that 42.08. If I can see 42.08 as a break, 42.08 then becomes support, and chances are the Magoo will take this going long. Okay, so XOM, that's number 2 on our watch list. All right, take a look at that area and mark it down. Next is Microsoft, Msft. Okay, Microsoft, this is a daily chart on Microsoft. Boy, I will tell you this though. Microsoft, since, let's see here, July, June, around July, let's call it, it really has just been trading in this range. As you can see, every time it gets up to this 218, let's call it 220 level, it just, comes back again. So, how long is Microsoft going to do this before it breaks out? That's why we have to keep it on our radar and really pay attention to this, because when it does break out, folks, it should break out strong. But we've had a couple of days here of consolidation. As you can see, this is a daily chart. 217.32. Write that down. $217.32. That's last week's high. Okay? There's a weekly chart. There's that weekly candle. 217.32. If Microsoft breaks 217.32, the Magoo is going to take that trade. Okay? Knowing that then 217.32 is going to be support. Okay? So Microsoft is number 3. Number 4, I'm going to have to play NIO again. NIO, this is a weekly chart on NIO. NIO has had a tremendous pullback here. And we did take it. I added to the position when it got down to almost this 38. I believe I got in at 38.65, and I bought some more at 38.85. I actually just market ordered in. NIO moves so fast, it's almost impossible to limit order in. But NIO did have a pullback. We have to keep an eye on NIO. We've got 54.39 as the high from the previous week, and we've got a low of 38.43. Now, these blue lines here, okay, these are also my support lines that I have identified. This was the 11.16 low, and this was the 11.9 low, this blue line. I'm going to take you to a daily chart so you can actually see it a little bit better probably. But here you have it, folks. Okay, so now let me explain to you what I like about NIO and some of the others and the way I play, okay? All right, so just to give you a little bit of an idea, if NIO breaks this area, let's say NIO breaks this 41.10 area, okay? This was a previous week low, 41.10, okay? And it stays in between this area here, okay? So it stays in between 41.10 and it stays, let's just say, in between 38.11, which was last week's low, okay? And it builds a little bit of a base, okay? If NIO breaks this 41.10, it's going to go back inside this candle's here low, okay, which is 11.16. I love playing the back inside breaks of resistance. I love it. Why? Number one, the stock has pulled back quite a bit already, okay? So it did have some sort of a correction, okay? And it seems like once it starts working, it wants to go up again. So I really pay attention to these lows. Why? Because these lows, if the price is below the low of this candle, well, then it's no longer, this support automatically became resistance. And just like you take a trade on the high of the week, So let's just say 54.39, this is the high of last week, and let's say the price is below. Just like you were to take a trade if it broke the previous week's high, it's the same thing if you play the back inside, okay? For example, if you take a look at 41.10, if you played that back inside last week when NIO broke that 41.10 level, it ran, folks. Okay, so keep an eye on those, and if there's something you don't understand regarding that, please let me know. Next on our list is Draftkings. Let me take a look. DKNG. Okay, we've got a weekly high and a monthly high to contend with, all in the same boat. This yellow line consists of a weekly and a monthly high. 53.72. Okay, the low is 48.42. Now, again, let me explain to you, okay? Let's just say, for example, folks, it breaks down. Let's say Draftkings opens, and let's just say it breaks this area of support, 48.42. Okay, this area of support now becomes resistance. If Draftkings breaks above 48.42 again, after this pullback, you have to take and try taking the trade, okay? I love playing these back insides. I just love it, especially after the stock has pulled back quite a bit, okay? So keep that in mind. Again, though, we had a weekly high and a monthly high of 53.72. That's a massive area, okay? You've got a weekly and a monthly high to contend with. So keep an eye on that and realize that if it does break it, it could go off to the races. But at the same time, that is a major area there, okay? And then we have this support, which was last week's of 48.42. We could even see Draftkings pull back all the way here to this area here, which is 46.61. That's very likely that could happen, okay? And as a matter of fact, on Draftkings, if you want, here, I'm going to show you something. I'll draw it really quick for you, okay? You take the low right here of this candle, which is 35.02. So let's just go right there. And when you're drawing a trend line, folks, you never want to go, you can go through the wick of the candle, but you can never go through the body. And you want as many touches as possible. So we have a touch here, touch here, touch here, okay, on 11.16. And we also have one on 11.10. And look what we're coming up against, okay? So it could pull back a little bit. Let me just highlight this. As you can see, it could pull back just a hair. You don't want it to see it break, but if it does break, chances are it's going to break this 48.42. And watch out for this area, because this area now becomes resistance. If it goes back inside and breaks 48.42, you got to take that trade, knowing that 48.42 now becomes support. Okay? I hope that helped. Let me remove that. And off to the next stock, BIG, big lots. Okay. Big Lots had a major setback last week. As a matter of fact, this was Friday. It really fell down quite a bit. Not sure why. I don't pay that much attention to the news. But as far as the chart is concerned, it did have a pretty pullback on a week here. And what we're doing right now, I've got a low drawn at 46.91. We're at 46.98 right now. We've got a high of 55.29, okay? Now, we have a monthly, which is 53.70. That's the yellow line there. And we've got a weekly to contend with, 55.29. So keep an eye on this areas. They're going to be both major areas of resistance. But at the same time, let me take you to the daily chart. We've got a nice gap to fill to the upside, okay? Gaps usually always get filled. We don't know when they're going to get filled. It might not be today, tomorrow, the next week. It might be a year from now. We don't know. But at the same time, gaps usually do get filled. So we've got a gap down. We've got a gap to the upside that we have to contend with. And I'm keeping an eye on this area here, 46.91. That was last week's low. If it breaks 46.91, remember that 46.91 then becomes the resistance, We have support here also on last month's low of 44.84. So, you know, if it even breaks that, again, 44.84 becomes resistance. If it breaks back inside that area, you want to try to take that trade, okay? Anytime you have a break of resistance, of some type of resistance, especially, you know, a resistance that holds a lot of weight. These weekly candles hold a lot more weight than a daily candle, folks. You got 5 days of data. The monthly candles hold a lot more weight than weekly candles. You've got a month worth of data. Believe me, I've been doing this for a long, long time. The monthly high and the monthly low are major areas of resistance and support. Okay? So keep that in mind. You don't have to complicate trading. It should be very easy, actually. People complicate things. I don't know why. Okay? I'm not saying that the way I trade is the holy grail, but at the same time, you know, people use MACDs, they use stochastics, they use RSIs, they use every moving average you can possibly imagine. They have it on their screen. But to be honest with you, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't use those as indicators, I'm just saying that price action trading, you will know when a price moves before a moving average could even get there. Okay, because everything else is a lagging indicator. Okay, so for me, the most important part of trading, and if you haven't done it yet, before you start reading about moving averages, stochastics, Fibonacci's, and everything else you want to read about, make sure you understand support and resistance. Because to be honest with you, that's what it's all about. If you don't read and you don't know how to read support and resistance, I can promise you, you will not make it in this business. It's just not going to happen. Okay, so, you know, keep that in mind. Now, the very last stock I am looking at is Ostk Overstock. Okay, it's consolidated here for the last 3 days. What I like about Overstock is that it put in a higher low. Okay, so it tried to go up here on, let's see, try to break through this area at 11:30. It did not, but it did consolidate. I have... Here's my weekly. Okay, so here you have it. You've got a weekly high of 71.60, a weekly low of 59.56. I am looking for a break of 71.60 to take this position long. Again, if Overstock, if I see weakness in Overstock and it breaks this 59.56 area, well, 59.56 then becomes resistance, and I'm going to look for maybe a break back inside that 59.56. But again, until that happens, guess what I do? I sit on my hands. Folks, that's it for the watch list. Those are the 7 stocks. Again, I'll run down them real quick. It's eBay, XOM, Msft, NIO, NIO, Draftkings, DKNG, BIG, and Ostk. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment on the video. You can also email me at hunterchasetrading@gmail.com. And I hope these videos are helping everyone. The only thing I ask you to do, if you could, please hit that subscribe button and hit the bell button, because what that does, it's going to notify you every time I put a video or an announcement or something that I'm looking at or maybe getting into. I do videos during the week in the morning before the market opens. You know, I always try to put things out there before it happens, not after it happens. You know, Manny Magoo is a real trader. I've been doing this a long time. Again, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial analyst. By all means, contact your financial advisors, contact your Series 7 brokers, do whatever it is you have to do in order to feel comfortable. What I do, this is for entertainment purposes only, and basically, I'm just giving you an idea of how I trade. I do this for a living, folks. I live pretty well, and at the same time, I do teach others on how to trade that have been extremely successful over the years. I also manage people's hedge funds. They ask me for my advice as far as analyzing the technical aspect and technical analysis of their portfolios, and I do that. So again, I hope this helps. Enjoy your Sunday, enjoy the day, and have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you.